Hello, friends. Today we're going to read How Rocket Learned to Read by Tad Hills. Tad Hills also wrote the Duck and Goose books. There's Rocket. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Every full fall morning, after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. There he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle in for a good long nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha, my first student! Wonderful," she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student? I'm not a—" "But if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "then you must be a student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. "I am so glad you saw my sign. Class starts today," the bird chirped. "Oh, yes, I can see it," Rocket said, "but I don't know how to read it." "Can't read? Fantastic." She waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." "But I just came here to nap," Rocket said. "No, no, there will be no napping in class," declared the bird, "except, of course, during nap time. There's the sign. Class starts today." "Well, then, I can take a nap over here," said Rocket. "I've had a very busy morning." "Not to worry. I'll be around every day," chirped the bird, "until the weather turns." As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the little yellow birds hung her banner. "Oh, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she marveled, "where it all begins. A through Z." Opening her book, the bird began to read. She sang out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster who had lost his favorite bone. Rocket doesn't look amused, does he, friends? A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard, and at first Rocket was disturbed. But before long he found himself captivated. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthy smells of fall. It was as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and he listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone? He wondered. Silence. Was it the bone? He called to the bird. More silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. Well, was it? But the little bird was gone. The next morning, Rocket arrived early. Word of the day, dog. At last the little bird appeared. "Hello, how wonderful to see you in class," she chirped. "I can tell by your waggy tail that you are well rested." "I'd like to hear the end of the story, please," said Rocket. "It seems like a fine way to start the day," chirped the bird, and she gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. Every day Rocket returned to the little bird's classroom. B. In the morning the bird taught him a new letter until he learned all the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. Together they sang out the sounds that each letter makes, and they spelled the sounds they heard around them. With a G and many R's they spelled Barker's growl. Grrrr. Oh, he does not look happy, friends. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh, WHOOSSSHHHHHHHHHHHH. And soon they were spelling words like FALL for the gusty time of year and RED for the color of the leaves. And each afternoon the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds. She read about leaves changing colors and about birds flying south for the winter. Then one day, the weather turned and the banner disappeared. "See you again in the glorious spring," the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called, "Don't forget, words are built one letter at a time." The days grew shorter, and the leaves fell from the trees. The grass became crunchy, and soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. He remembered the little red bird's alphabet, and he practiced his letters. You see? A, B, C. Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words like D-I-G, D-I-G, and wind, W-I-N-D, and cold, cold. He made new friends and spelled their names. "Hello, Emma, E-M-M-A. Hi there, Fred, R-F-R-E-D. He spelled everything, S-U-N-M-E-L-T. When Rocket spelled mud, M-U-D, he knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. Class starts tomorrow. The breeze blew warmer, the grass grew greener, and the sign appeared. Early the next morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom. As he waited, he spelled W-A-G. Soon the little yellow bird arrived. "Aha, my star student," she sang. "How wonderful to see you. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are ready for class. Welcome back, Rocket." There he is. Then together they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun, and they read about Buster, the lucky dog who found his bone under the lilac bush. And when they were done, they read it again and again and A-G-A-I-N again. Friends, that's the story about how Rocket learned how to read. I hope that while you were at home with your parents during this time that we're away from school, that you're reading every day and you're taking the time to hone your reading skills so that when we come back to school, you can show your teachers how you've learned to use your words, just like Rocket learned to use his words and how Rocket learned how to read. Thank you. Till next time.